Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel one more time. Today I have the, relatively brand new video footage from the new carrier rework, which you've seen some preview before. It was showcased by Wargaming themselves at one of the streams that they had. And it was basically a couple of footages from a couple of new squadrons of planes being played from the new reworked carriers. The targets were stationary and the player playing was rather bad, and we had more questions than answers after the video. Here is a leaked footage that was, I don't know, was it just, meant to be released or not, but apparently someone played a game of co-op battle. It's not random, it's co-op, and as you can see there's actually 3, 6, 9 versus 9. You can see the minimap in the bottom right corner. This is apparently a new midway. I think this is all still heavily work in progress, and I will play you this footage, this video, and we will talk about it in the process. First of all, you can see the planes getting up, which is a bit ridiculous. It's a bit too fast. And then somebody activates something, which is an R, and they were going really fast, and then they slow down, and then they're going really fast, and again and again and again. This is constantly shifting and changing. I don't know why that consumable was used, what exactly it did. It could be some sort of an engine boost for a while, but it lasted only 5 seconds, and then the cooldown started, and he's still going 218, and then it drops to 145. And we can see in the bottom left corner there is a new icon, number 2. That's the rockets, and he's gonna go for the attack right now. Boom, 3 hits, almost 2,000 damage to a destroyer that was actually moving and turning. We can see that letter T. Let me just tune this down a bit. Jesus Christ, it's loud. We can see that the letter T means probably air support. He would go another 3,000-4,000 damage, 8 hits, 3 incapacitations, and a fire. That's definitely a repair kit, probably being blown by that destroyer now. That was only 2 out of 4 attacks. Now comes the third attack. He is gonna score 3 more hits. I don't know how much damage he did, maybe 1,000. He definitely decapped, and here comes the last attack. You can see it's pretty easy to drop these attacks, and he misses. The last group has blown their rockets, fired the rockets, and immediately a new squadron. You're immediately transferred back to the carrier because you lost the control of it. You can see the 4 squads here of 3. That's basically your 12 planes, the 12 rocket planes. Every time you use it, it's 3 planes each. When you unload your cargo, your rockets, torpedoes, dive bombs, whatever you have, you lose control of that 3, and you regain control of the rest of the squadron until all 12 is depleted. Here you can see the HP of all 12, and the 3 that are being used are just gonna go blue and then disappear. I'm not sure what the F is, but maybe it's just returned to the carrier. I think F was before used similarly. This is probably to summon the AI controlled fighters. As you know, you no longer can basically have fighters. You can't control them, you can't do anything. This time he went for dive bombers. Now why I'm showing you this, besides that you can see actually a proper footage, proper gameplay, is there's gonna be some problems in this video. Now they're moving targets. Very bad dispersion of those bombs, but it's a 1 hit, 1 fire. You're gonna see some problems with whoever is playing at certain points, kind of struggling to land proper torpedoes, proper bombs, and proper, rockets. And as you can see, that little white circle was way in front from where this actually is. There we go. 5 bomb hits. I don't even know how that works. Apparently, each dive bomber carries more than just 1 bomb, because I really don't know how the hell he just scored 5 bomb hits with 3 planes. He activates this thing again, which I really have no idea what it is. This consumable is a bit of a mystery, and he most definitely does not need the speed right now. You can see here he's kind of struggling to maintain, and he drops the bombs and he misses. He activated the attack a bit too soon, and his dive bombing run was almost over, so he had to drop the bombs if he wanted to use that payload. Now, if you want to cancel the attack, if you commit, like you're gonna see right now, he's leading, and he attacks now. If you don't want to drop the payload, if you don't want to commit, you just don't do anything. He's gonna drop the payload here, because of course, why not? But if you don't want, and you want it saved, just don't click anything. Apparently, you're gonna be clicking when you want to attack, you know, start the attack run, and then you're gonna have to click again when you want to drop the payload. So if you don't drop the payload, your planes will just move on, and you will keep them, and you get to go another go if your planes survive. However, every time you do this, your planes are, you know, they're losing HP while they're flying in and out and over the ship. So you might want to be careful about that. This time we have torpedo planes. Now you can see, I mean, the torpedo planes are relatively simple. Whoever played carriers before, or destroyers or anything, it's not going to be too hard to realize how to do this. However, it's going to be a whole new level of gameplay to actually see how much lead you're going to be having to take. And is the ship heavily turning in or heavily out? These are bots. They're not actively even trying to dodge. And here you can see that for some reason, everything was super wide. Although I think if he turns around, yeah, only 1 torpedo hit. I can't tell you why, but he couldn't get a narrow spread. For some reason, that was a very, very wide spread, and only 1 torpedo hit. And it's a Fuso, and there's no carrier. There's no carrier fighters. There's no catapult planes. There's no destroyer or cruiser with defensive AAs. So something is weird. I am not sure if this is the new and reworked AA on the ships. It doesn't look like it, but... And now, it finally went narrow and he drops, but I'm not sure if those torpedoes are actually dropped close enough. Yeah, one is gonna miss, the other one almost missed, but it did hit, and then the third one hit. So you're gonna have to take a significant amount of lead if you want to sink ships, which is pretty standard. But it's a lot easier to see how much lead you need to take when you're playing from the regular carrier and not just from, you know, from this kind of perspective. And here we can see that these planes are actually taking some heavy fire right now. One is in orange, one is in red. He gets the narrow spread and he drops it, but I'm not sure. Look at that. One is down and all are damaged. 2 are critically damaged, 3 are critically damaged, and he scores only 1 torpedo. Yeah, you're gonna have to take a lot of lead. There goes a 1. So here we can finally see that planes are actually... There goes another one. Planes are finally getting into some trouble, finally getting into some problems. And I think he's gonna lose this one as well before he drops. Yeah, there we go. Immediately takes you back to your carrier. And here you can see 3 different icons, and basically you click which one you want to pick. Do you want to launch with torpedo planes, with dive bombers, or with rocket planes? So every time you're finished with your 1 squadron, you will have a choice of all the available squadrons. Now, with the submarines incoming into the game, there's a couple of questions that I'm very curious about. Are you going to be able to see random silhouettes underneath the surface of the submarines, especially if they are on the periscope depth? What is going to be the detection of the submarines when they're submerged or when they are surfaced? These are the questions that I'm very much looking forward to. He did activate the fighter support, and on the minimap we can see that the fighters are actually a couple of kilometers behind. I don't know what exactly they're doing, but this guy's basically beached and stationary, so that's going to be an easy drop. But here we can see that, you know, planes are getting damaged, planes are getting shut down, and torpedo planes are going to have to spend a significant amount of time flying and circling around while getting heavily damaged and shut down in order for their strikes to be useful. Because one strike of a couple of torpedo planes with a couple of plane drop torpedoes is not really that big of a problem. Most of the times they don't even score floodings. You can see he's got 6 torpedo hits and only 1 flooding so far, which is pretty standard for torpedo planes. They are smaller torpedoes and they are harder to, you know, penetrate the armored torpedo bulkheads and all that stuff. And is that going to be enough lead? They all got shut down. One thing we're not seeing here, though, is he doesn't have any penalty. He literally has no penalty on losing planes. He's constantly losing his squads. Well, actually, maybe that's not exactly true. I wasn't paying attention that much. He did lose 1 squadron. The others might have just been returned to the carrier. He's constantly summoning up these fighter escorts. I'm not sure why. My best guess would be for them to actually share some DPM. The more planes there are, you know, better the chance that not one squadron is gonna get focused. But these are bots, and I don't know if these captains are even spec'd or anything. In reality, there's gonna be players who really actively try to dodge, unlike these guys. And I don't think it's gonna be that easy to drop dive bombers. I think people are gonna be struggling, at least at the start, to do any significant damage with torpedo planes. However, the easiest thing so far seems to be the rockets. It's almost hard to miss. They don't do a lot of damage. I think they retweaked this a bit. The rockets don't seem to do a lot of damage. Like 1, 2, maybe 3,000 per strike. If. And the fires are like, I don't know, 50% every second one? I'm not sure. So if these are gonna be real-time players who are gonna be speccing for AA, and I would definitely advise people to spec for AA when these carriers hit, otherwise they're gonna bully you to death. As we were talking about it today in the chat on the stream, you know, Wargaming has basically decided that they are no longer going to make carriers just one-shot people. They're gonna make it a death by 1,000 cuts. Now, that's gonna be good and bad in the same time. It's gonna be good because it's gonna take carriers a lot of time to actually do significant amount of damage, and it gives you time to work on it. It gets you time to get your, you know, skills and consumables off the cooldown. It will maybe give you some time for your teammates to respond and give you a hand, for you to try to hide or rejoin with the group, dodge something. However, if the RNG is good and if the carrier player is going to be scoring a lot of these hits, if the planes are not getting shut down, if he gets a full harass on you, you might be looking at permanent fires and floodings. That's my biggest concern. It's 4 attacks. Now, even the rockets don't need to do any damage. I think he's gonna miss here. He drops, but the ship is moving and he misses. So like I said, the dive bombers are gonna be a bit of a challenge for people to, you know, use properly. Because the second that the ship starts turning properly and he comes from a kind of a bad angle, he already starts missing. He or she, I have no idea who is playing. But I've seen that from the first second. You can see two circles. One is big and one is small. Not entirely sure what one of those represents, because I see the bombs dropping all over the place. I'm guessing the small one is where you want to hit, and the big one is telling you, well, this is RNG. You can get screwed. This guy's gonna die. Probably burn down before the bombs even drop. Yep. And he didn't drop. Here you can see a perfect example of a cancelled attack. The target died, so he decided just not to waste any bombs, so he retains the planes. Instead of having only 3 now, he has all 6. So, I don't know. You can tell me down in the comments below what do you think about the new carrier rework. I do think this is going to be entertaining and fun to play for a while. I just don't know how fun is it going to be to play after a while. But there you go. You can see some actual gameplay, and I'm very much looking forward to testing it out, and hopefully this will be pretty interesting to play, and very curious to see how it's going to interact with the current submarines, which are being announced for the Halloween event, and maybe in 2019 both the new carriers and the submarines actually hit the live servers. We'll see. Thank you for watching, and have a good luck and good rest of the day, and I'll see you tomorrow.